Okay, perfect. Good night. Good night, everyone. Welcome back to Feminine Success TV. I'm so excited to be here with you all tonight. Thank you, husband, so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Stop that. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all tonight. Our conversation has been amazing over the last few nights. So I'm excited to get into the next level of our conversation because we've really been talking about how to manage your life well, how to make sure that the relationships in your life match where you are and who you are. And now it's time to talk about, are you getting the support that you need? And how do you know? How do you know when it's time to get support? Because I'll tell you this, because I've actually made this mistake. You absolutely can hire a coach too soon. You absolutely can. I remember in the beginning of my business, I hired a PR person and I didn't even need a PR person. Like I wasn't even ready for all that, but I wasn't sure what step to take next. And so I wanted to make sure that even if you're thinking about it, if you're like, "Oh my goodness, I've been watching these lives, I've been participating, it's been amazing, and now I think I'm ready to take the next step." But you're kind of going back and forth. You're like, I don't know. What are the criteria? What are the things that let me know that I'm really, really ready? Because if you're anything like my clients, the women in my community are women who pray first and then move, women who are making sure that they have a sign, women who are making sure that they're taking the right step at the right time. And even if they have to move when they're not ready, they want to make sure that there's confirmation. And I love working with women like that because it's easier to be obedient when you're clear. It's easier to get results when you're clear. It's easier to show up for yourself and continue showing up for yourself even when you don't feel like it, when you're clear. I get so many women who ask me, "Well, yeah, how do you stay motivated? How do the women in your community stay motivated?" And it's not about motivation, it's about clarity. Because even when you're not motivated, you still haven't lost sight of where you're going. So you can take time, you can rest, you can do what you need to do and still know I'm moving in the right direction. So I want to have that conversation with y'all tonight. If this is your first time here, make sure to say hi in the comments. If you're on YouTube, make sure to tell me hello, tell me where you're tuning in from, and I'll be sure to speak back. I'm Southern. If you're on Facebook, you are welcome to say hi as well. If you're in the Facebook group, thank you so much for being in the group. You guys on Facebook and YouTube are where the conversation happens. This is where the questions get answered. So you're always getting preference when it comes to showing up live and being able to get the kind of support that you need. All right. So I want to tonight. I'm not gonna be long, y'all, because it's date night. If y'all can't tell, Jasmina says, yeah, you look beautiful, slaying. Thank you so much. It's date night. We have no children. We're about to go hit up somebody's rooftop when this is all over with. So because of that, I won't keep y'all here long. So, real quick introduction for those who don't know who I am. I'm Yaya Smith. I am the founder of Feminine Success, creator of Feminine Success School, author of the Feminine Success book. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of four, homeschooler. Whoop whoop for all my homeschoolers out there. And newbie world traveler because I have always felt the call to live a freedom based lifestyle. And because of that, and because I've always known how to answer that call, even when people didn't think that I was doing what I should be doing or the right things, I was always able to answer the call to freedom and the call to more and the call to a better life, more impact, something different than what the rest of the world was doing. I wanted to help other women do that because a lot of the frustration and the stress that we experience in our day to day lives, a lot of the lack of results that we experience is based on us living our lives according to what our families, our friends, our kids, our whoever thinks makes sense. And it doesn't make sense for you. You're still not, with all of the effort that you put in, with all of the things that you give, not experiencing reciprocation, first of all, and respect, and not having to beg or plead or ask for or march for your rights, for your respect, for being honored as a woman. And being able to stand in that, I've always wanted to be able to give that to other women and share that with other women. So, sharing happens in a lot of ways. Sharing happens here on live. Sharing happens inside of the Feminine Success School, which is my signature program. Sharing happens in the Feminine Success Master Training. Sharing happens. Sharing happens on calls with my clients and in friend circles. Sharing happens in so many ways. And I wanted to help you clarify for yourself if you're the person who takes the sharing and says, okay, I can go read the Feminine Success book, or I can go watch Yaya on live, or I can take the master class two times, three times, however many times, or I can, wherever you have stopped yourself along the journey of receiving what you need to get to your next level. I want you to see clearly what are the signs that show up when it's time to take it to the next level. So if you are the woman who has been reading all of the self-help books, you've been listening to all of the podcasts, or you haven't because you don't have time for that, but you have been putting in the effort every day in your life. You have been showing up, and still, with all of the effort, with all of the intention, with all of the things that go into it, everyone around you is pleased, but you're not. Everyone around you is satisfied with you, but you're not satisfied yet. And it's not that you're not satisfied at all. You're just not fully satisfied yet. And so I want to help you to clearly see what are the signs when it's time for you to consider coaching as an option. There are tons of options on the journey of self-development. You may be at the level where you're like, well, listening to podcasts, I'm just getting started. So listening to these podcasts is enough for me. But the women that I work with are usually at the level where listening to podcasts, reading another book, joining buying another $97 course is just not going to cut it for you. And if that is you, if you know everything that I've been trying has been good, but it still hasn't gotten me there, then this live is for you. So tonight we're going to talk about 10 signs that it's time to consider coaching. 10 signs that it's time to consider coaching to support you in your life. All right? So, number 1, if you are tired of trying to figure it out. We've talked about male and female relationships over the last couple nights. We've talked about managing your home life, work-life balance. We talked about it all. If you are tired of trying to figure it out, then it's time for you to consider coaching. Last night, I shared with you guys that figuring it out is the opposite of ease. So many of you I'm seeing sharing in your stories and sharing on your timeline. And yeah, we be looking at y'all timelines. But we see you guys all the time saying, it's time for more ease. It's time for me to work less. I've been doing so much for so long. Yeah, you have. And yeah, it's time. However, if you are still trying to figure out how to get to ease, it's time for you to consider coaching. And like I said last night, a coach has the playbook. So if you're looking for the playbook for ease, you're going to have to go to someone who has the playbook, right? So often we're kind of playing street ball with our dreams and our goals and our lives and our relationships, playing street ball, saying, I'm good at this. I have a talent for this. So I'm going to just use what I got. But not doing the things that are required to refine that gift, to refine that talent. If you are everybody's homegirl, if you have a whole bunch of homeboys and you are the woman who all the guys can come to and all the guys can talk to you, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be a wife if that's what you desire for yourself. You should have been somebody's wife by now. And you know that. That's why you're here on this live. You know that. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to keep trying to DIY it? Keep trying to figure it out, figure out what's wrong with you? Nothing is wrong with you. But and y'all listen. I used to watch the Players Club when I was a kid. Okay, I don't know. My uncle had it in his room. I just put it in the VCR and just went with it. Okay, but there was a line in that movie that is powerful, and that is, you have got to know how to use what you've got to get what you want. So many of us know how to use what we've got, but we don't know how to use it to get what we want. So you are using your ability to connect, to be a comfortable place to rest, to be a comfortable place to talk. You using it because everyone's coming to you for that. But are you using it, and do you know how to use it to get what you want? That's an important question to ask yourself. And when you realize that you're tired of trying to figure it out, it's time to consider coaching. Number 2, you are ready for a better circle. This could be a better circle of friends, a better circle of peers, a better circle of business partners, a better circle of men to choose from. But you realize in your life that you're ready for a better circle, that the kinds of people that you are constantly attracting to yourself. And this does not mean that they are not successful people. There are successful people that are complete a-holes, whole circles of successful people. So, when you realize that you're ready for a better circle and you are being your best self, but this is what is coming to you, it's time to consider coaching. Because what's happening is that there is a blind spot that you can't see that is attracting things that you don't want. And you need someone in your world who can see that blind spot. All right. So that's number 2. Number 1, you're tired of trying to figure it out. Number 2, you're ready for a better circle. Friends, peers, partners, whatever. All right. Number 3, you are ready to attract a better quality of partner or more from your current partner. Now, this is specific to your relationships, because I know a lot of women, and I have coached a lot of women who have amazing friendships, who have amazing relationships in their family. But what's going on with these men? What's going on with these relationships? What's happening? And so when you're ready to attract a better quality partner or more from the current partner that you're with, maybe you've married someone, but you feel like, maybe I married the wrong person, or did I choose too soon, or did I wait too long, or what's going on here? When you're ready to attract better quality around you in your love life, getting a coach along with a counselor, a marriage counselor, a relationship counselor, if you're in marriage, is critical. Because as many women as I have seen who have married too quickly, they felt, desperate in the moment, they felt like they had to make a choice. I've seen just as many women walk away from a good situation and they couldn't get it back. But they didn't know at the time. They didn't walk away on purpose. They thought, this is what happens. This is what you do. We've just grown apart. And so when you have reached that place where you are ready to either attract better or to have better in your relationship, then it's time to get expert support in that. All right. So, number 4, you're ready to go deeper than self help. You're ready to go deeper than self help. I've reached this point, and I know that a lot of my clients reach this point where you have done as much as you can on your own. And self help is good. It's a good tool to have in your toolkit, but you're ready to make a quantum leap. Self help is helping you take baby steps, but you're ready to make a quantum leap. When you are ready to go deeper than self help, it's time to consider hiring a coach, joining a coaching program, getting the kind of support that you need. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 5. I told y'all it's date night, so I'm moving quick. I hope this is helping you. I hope this is helping you. Hello, Feminine Success Sisters. It's so good to see you guys in here. All right. Number 5. Number 5. And this is an important one. If you were on any of the lives this week, specifically where my client Veronica came on and spoke about her relationship, we also talked about the importance of both therapy and coaching. And my client Veronica is a psychotherapist. And so, as a therapist, she has a coach and she has a therapist. And I love that because they work hand in hand. And the fifth sign that it's time to consider coaching for yourself is that therapy has helped you go back and now you're ready to go forward. Therapy has helped you to go back and now you're ready to go forward. When you reach that point where you realize, okay, I've gone back, I see what's happening behind me. I realize my childhood traumas. I understand what I went through as a teenager, as a young adult, and all that. Okay, I get it. Now, how am I going to move forward? And here's why it's time to consider coaching. Because therapy is not designed to move you forward, it's designed to help you go back and gather the tools that you need from your past experiences and situations, to observe, to reflect on those lessons, and to see how they're affecting you in the present. But the game plan that you need to use those tools to move you forward in your life comes through coaching. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you guys. Let me know if that distinguishing factor makes sense. Therapy helps you go back and get the tools that you need to manage the present. Coaching helps you analyze what you have in the present and to sharpen those tools and refine those tools, and also to get the strategy and the game plan that you need to move forward. All right. So I hope that that helped you. When you've reached that point in your life where you have invested in the therapist, you have invested in the things that you need to manage what has happened in your past, and you're ready to move forward, it's time to consider coaching. All right. The sixth sign that it's time to consider coaching is you've been saving for years. You've been saving for years and you still haven't gotten where you want to be. Now, we're going to go a little deeper here because saving can be several things. You've been saving money, you've been saving yourself. They told you if you save yourself, you're going to attract the right man, you're going to attract your husband, and now you are pushing 40 years old and you've been saving for a long time. Not saying that you shouldn't save, but save with strategy, save with an end goal. Okay. You've been saving for a long time. And you still haven't gotten to where you want to be. It's a belief issue. Now, we're not going to go deep into that right now, but that's really what it is. It's a belief issue. Understanding what you deserve, understanding what you're worthy of, and knowing how to go out and position yourself to be attracting that. Position yourself to magnetize those things to you. Okay. Save with a strategy. Exactly. So you've been saving for years. I had a client that just joined our feminine success community a couple days ago, and she was like, I'm so excited. I'm so ready to join. Yes, it's this time. It's time. It's time. It's time. And then she was like, I don't know. Maybe I need to save a little more. I'm going to wait a little longer. I'm going to see. I'm going to see. Now, she ended up joining, but she did something that a lot of women do that I see. And that is that you have been taught for so long that working harder, saving more, being quieter, being more patient, stuffing and stuffing and stuffing and stuffing and stuffing things and yourself away for long enough, and eventually you'll be able to have what you want, live how you want, do what you want, flower, bloom, blossom, whatever it is. But that's not the way that it goes. There is an example that I give all of my clients when they're joining Feminine Success School. And that is to understand how we've been programmed. The woman operates in a circle. If you look at your life, you might notice that you heal or grow through something, and then you go around the cycle and it comes right back. And then you go around the cycle. You may do the right thing that time, you may not do the right thing that time, but you go around in a circle and it comes right back. That business idea, it comes right back around. That desire for a child, it comes right back around. That desire to be married, you might put some things on the road between it, but it's going to come right back around. And as women, we operate in cycles. The way that we have been taught in this society is to operate. If you think about a piece of paper, if you did this, I did this as a kid, start on the outside of the paper and start drawing a spiral toward the inside of the paper. That's how we've been taught to build our lives as women. We've been taught to acquire other people's approval, other people's attention, other people's affection. We've been taught to acquire money, accomplishments, things, homes, cars, jewelry. We've been taught to build all of this. And when you get to you, when you get back to you, then you can give you celebration, honor, respect, love, all of those things that you desire, the things that'll fill your cup. You can fill your cup once you have finished doing all of this. But if you've ever done that, if you've ever taken a pen, put it on the paper on the outside corner and spiraled your way all the way back in, at some point, you can no longer spiral. You can't go anymore because the walls have closed in on you. Because things get smaller and smaller and smaller as you go inward. And now you're trapped inside of this beautiful life, amazing life. From the outside looking in, it's wonderful. Of course it is, because you've spent so much time building up the outside that once you reach the inside, it almost feels like it's gonna collapse, or it feels like I can't carry it all. It becomes overwhelming. Okay. So saving is very much that way. I'm going to do all of this outside stuff, all of this outside stuff, so that I can have something when I reach the middle. But the opposite of that is I am going to start in the middle and work my way out. And the only thing that can stop you when you're building that way is the size of the paper. That's it. That's your only limitation. You get more paper, you can keep going. And that is what coaching is designed to help you do, is to spin your life on the track of alignment. We have to figure it out when we're spinning off track, but we're trying to make off track feel like on track. All right. So I hope that that helped you. I hope that supported you in seeing why taking the next step in your self development journey is important. It's not something that, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. It is something that when you get to it now, you can live in freedom, you can live in joy. You don't have to chase things that you enjoy because you're constantly in joy. All right. So I hope that that helps someone. I hope that helps someone. Hey, Keys, so good to see you here. All right. The seventh sign, the seventh sign is that you have been over giving for years and still haven't gotten where you want to be. So again, this is very similar to saving. Saving is different because you're like putting it away. You're putting things away. You're hiding things away. You're moving it out of the way. Giving is you're pouring things out. You're constantly pouring out in hopes that if I tend to these things outside of myself, if I give to these things, if I fill these things up outside of me, eventually I'll be filled too. Okay. So if you have been over giving for years and you realize that you still haven't got where you want to be, then it's time to consider coaching. The eighth, hold on, let me go back. All right. The eighth sign, because we have walked through a bunch of signs so far. I'm going to do a recap in a second. The eighth sign is that you know there's more for you, but you don't know how to start, or you don't know what your next step should be. So this is kind of a two-parter, because it could be that you know there's more for you, but you don't know where to start because you have never taken that step. Or it could be that you have already started, but where you are, you know that there's more on the journey for you. You know that this is not it. There is a next step, but you're not sure what that next step should be. And you maybe have an idea of what it could be, but you would like perspective from folks who have been there. That was the thing for me. I had built my jewelry business. I had built a wonderful client base in my herbal healing business. And I was ready to step into coaching. I knew that there was more impact. I knew that there was more for me out there in helping women, but I didn't know what that next step could look like. I only knew, okay, go live. Go live. That's what you do. And there was a time, if you've been following for a while, you know there was a time I was going live every day. But I had nowhere for you to go. There was no, okay, here's how we're going to continue this journey together. Here are the next steps that we're going to take, because I didn't know my next steps. And so to get to that level, I had to connect myself with someone who had taken those steps. And not only someone who had taken the steps, but someone who had tried things and failed and picked themselves back up and gotten back on the road and was still living life, wasn't building a business in a vacuum. I needed someone who was where I wanted to be. And if you've realized that for yourself, if you've realized that you've given all that you can give, you've tried all you can try, you've done all you can do, you know that there's more for you still. but you don't know what step to take next, or you don't know where to start, it's time to consider coaching. Because remember, we talked about coaching gives you the game plan for going forward. All right. All right. So let's do a quick recap. Just a really quick one. I'm not gonna keep y'all all night because it is still date night and it is 7:45. Okay. The first sign that it's time to consider coaching is that you're tired of trying to figure it out. You're past trying to figure it out. You're past that. I had a moment last year. Um, I love luxury. I will say that. I do. And I had a moment last year where I looked at my life and I said, every area of my life should be luxurious, from my skincare to my self care to my health care. And so often we like nice things in one area, we're trying to DIY things in another area. Figuring it out keeps you in a space of DIY. And when you DIY, and you're skipping steps. So allow yourself to ask yourself, what does it feel like to be supported in every area of my life? Every area of my life where I have a question, there is someone I can go to and get an answer. What does that feel like for you? I'll tell you one thing, it saves a lot of time. You don't spend years trying to figure it out, trying to dig yourself up out of a hole, trying to figure out what step to take next or how you're going to get motivated or any of that, because your life is well supported. All right. So you're tired of trying to figure it out. 2, you're ready for a better circle of friends, of peers, of partners. 3, you're ready to attract a better quality of partner. We hear a whole lot about high value men, but value is subjective. Quality is something that you can see from a mile away. Quality is a fact. A quality house can stand through a storm. And there are a lot of homes that are valued at a high price because of how the market looks right now, but the quality of the house is trash. You want a high quality partner? You want high quality people in your life? Then it's time to consider getting high level support. Time to consider coaching. All right. The 5th, hold up. No, we're on 4. Number 4 is you're ready to go deeper than self-help. You're ready to go deeper than self-help. Yes, you always want to be able to help yourself, but you're ready to go deeper than self-help. You've read enough books, you've listened to enough podcasts, you've gone on enough retreats, you've done all of those things, and you are ready to go deeper. All right. Number 5, therapy has helped you go back, and now you're ready to go forward. Therapy has helped you go back, and now you're ready to go forward. That's number 5. Number 6 is you've been saving for years. That's saving yourself, saving money, saving your nice dress. I know a couple people that have bought wedding dresses already and don't have a husband in sight, and they've been saving that dress in the closet for years. I'm just telling the truth. Just telling the truth, because that would have been me. Listen, had I made it to 30 and not gotten married, I would have certainly had a wedding dress in my closet. What? This is I've picked out the dress already. Lord, send me my husband. So it's no judgment. It's just that when you realize that you've been saving the best of yourself. You've been saving the best of your life. You've been saving experiences. You don't want to buy a house yet because you don't have a husband yet. You don't want to travel because you want to travel with your man. You've been saving the best of your life for years, and you are still waiting. Then it's time to get high level support. It's time to consider coaching. If you realize, number 8, that you have been, or 7, that you have been over giving for years. This is the opposite of saving. You've been over giving for years. You've been paying for everybody to go on a trip, everybody to go to dinner. You've been showing up early and leaving late. You've been doing all the things. And you realize now I need some support. This is not getting me the results that I want. Then it's time for you to consider coaching. Number 8, you know there's more for you, but you don't know how to start or what your next step should be. So if you have never started, you might not know how to start, but you know there's more for you. You don't have anyone around you that you can say, okay, what is my next step? What is my first step? Or you've started, you're on the journey, but you're stuck and you've reached a plateau on the journey and it's time to elevate. You know it's time to elevate, but you don't know what that looks like. You don't know what that next step should look like. It's time to consider coaching. Number 9, you know the roots of your issues, of your fears, of your problems. You're the one on the phone. Yeah, I know. I've been in therapy for 3 years. Yeah. I know exactly why I'm not moving forward. I know exactly why I'm uh-huh. What are you going to do about what you know though? Is the question. What you going to do? Something. You know the roots of it, but you still figure that you can't solve it. You still haven't solved it. Okay. So if you understand why you are where you are, if you are the person, when I say, okay, why haven't you reached that goal yet? And you say, it's because of me. Yeah, it's because of me. I know it's me. I know it's me. I know it's me. It's time to consider coaching because you need somebody to snatch your wig and keep you on, like get you on track. Only though. Let me for all my coaches out there, because I know they like, yeah, you know what? She could keep it. But only if you know the roots and you know the problem and you realize, I can't solve this by myself. I've tried, and you want to solve it. Because some of us are addicted to our chaos. Some of us are addicted to our problems. Some of us are addicted to staying in the same place. Some of us are addicted to arguing with our man. That's why we do it all the time. Some of us are addicted to having problems on the job. Some of us are addicted to terrible neighbors. Some of us are addicted to chaos. And so we keep getting chaos. Some of us are addicted to boredom, addicted to not just beating ourselves up. Girl, all you did all day was lay in the bed. All you did was work today. You didn't even go out and enjoy yourself. You didn't even have fun. We're addicted to the cycle, that inner conversation where you the only person you talk to all day. But there's a part of you that's saying, this is not it. This ain't it. And if you are ready to answer that part, then consider coaching. If you want to stay in your space where you're like, you know what? I'm fine with me and my problems. Okay, that's fine. No judgment. No judgment at all. Um, but if you don't, consider a coach. Okay. If you do, don't waste nobody's time though. All right. So that's number 9. If you don't want to stay in those spots where the roots are, if you're ready to move past those roots into the fruit of your life, then it's time to consider coaching. All right. And number 10 is you sabotage success and or you fear failure. If you find yourself sabotaging your success or fearing failure, so you're not moving, you're not growing, you're not taking it to that next level, you are successful by the world standards, by what they think, but you're not where you know you want to be. I heard Dr. Miles Monroe say once, success is not how well you've done based on how well others have done. Success is how well you've done based on what you could have done. What you could have done. And only you know what you can do. Well, you and God, but you know what you can do. Are you successful based on what you know you can do? Not looking to your left and to your right and saying, well, ooh, at least I'm not At least I'm not that bad. You on the shade room getting your fix because you know, well, at least all my dirty laundry ain't all over the internet right now. Okay. But are you succeeding based on compared to what you can do? Because your level is your level. So if you find yourself sabotaging success often or fearing failure, and so you've got it, it's keeping you on a plateau. You're not moving up, you're not moving down, you're just where you are. And eventually life gonna start pulling you backwards. There's no inertia really. Um, then what? Then what? So it's time to consider coaching because coaching, there's someone who is invested in helping you continue to pull forward and helping you continue to move your life in the direction that you desire to go. Okay. So I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helps somebody. Marche says, yep, overwhelmed with self help. Well, you know, it's time to consider coaching. It's time to consider coaching. Your feminine success sister, Jasmine, just joined us in the Feminine Success School. Let's see. Being supported in every area of my life. Absolutely. Afudza says, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I was always a little unclear about the difference, and sometimes it almost seems like coaches come off as therapists. And we can. I mean, honestly, a lot of coaches are psychology majors who are just like, therapists don't get paid enough. A lot of coaches. A lot of coaches. I am totally transparent about that. I am a psychology major, college dropout who was like, therapists don't get paid enough. They just don't. I can read these books on my own time because this is not cool. So that may be why a lot of coaches feel like therapists. But coaching is a very specific skill set. I will say that most therapists are not coaches and they will tell you that they're not coaches because it's a very specific skill set to be able to help a person get from point A to point B. Therapists kind of bring you backwards into what was already there. Those are memories, those are things that you've already been through. A coach is literally taking you from what you know into the unknown and helping you to make the unknown successful. So it's an entirely different skill set. But like I said before, they work hand in hand. All right. Are there any other questions, ladies? Any other questions? So, for those of you who are like, I not only am I considering a coach, I am ready. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes on the channel. If you are on the email list, you will be seeing some things popping up for you soon, some opportunities to move forward on the journey together. If you are not on the email list, shoot us a DM on Instagram. You can shoot us a DM. I don't think you can message on YouTube, but you can shoot us a DM on Facebook. And my team will put you on the list so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to work together. You guys have heard from my clients. You've heard all the signs that show you if you are where you need to be and if you're not, what to do next. I'm not big on just leaving you in the dark with your problems. But if you realize that you are ready to take that next level for yourself, keep your eyes open for a great opportunity to work together where I'll be able to coach you directly and support you directly. All right, let's see. A Facebook user says, wow, taking you from what you know into the unknown and helping the unknown be successful. Got it. Absolutely. And that's really what coaching is. And it's kind of why a lot of coaching clients, it takes you a minute to acclimate to the environment of coaching. Now, I'll say this about feminine success coaching specifically, because there are some programs that you can walk through in, 3 hours on a Saturday, and you're where you need to be. But feminine success coaching specifically is taking you into the unknown and helping you to birth your best life. If you think about, and I always talk about this, I really love the way that as women, we have been designed so intentionally. Everything in our lives, even if you don't have children, everything in your life is born the same way. It is an idea that's created in the dark. Nobody knows it but you for a long time. Nobody gets it but you. Nobody really knows how to feed that idea. Nobody has what it needs. If you're a mom, breastfeeding is a thing, and nobody has what that baby needs but you for so long. And you go through this process of being hidden, this process of being very fragile at times, of being uncertain about what's going to happen next. And a midwife helps you to bring that baby into the world. And some midwives even help you to raise that child. They become almost like a nanny to their clients and their clients' children. It's just a part of the family. A coach is very similar, but for your whole life, not just for pregnancy. A life coach specifically in the feminine success community. I can't speak to what anyone else is doing, but for those of you who are wondering, like, what's the difference, or what's what, that's what's what. Um, when you are going through birth alone, and you've never birthed before, the pains can seem unbearable because you've never felt them before. You don't have anyone around you who's felt them before to tell you, "Oh, that's fine. That's normal. You're good. You're fine. Okay, come on, let's breathe. I've birthed 4 babies, so I know. You don't have that around you. You can be on this roller coaster where you feel like you're constantly starting over, because when it gets too hard, you stop, because you don't know your power. You don't know your strength. You don't know that you can keep going through that. You don't know that there's a strategy to make going through it easier, to allow your body to relax through the process of giving birth. I've given birth at home 3 times, and had I only ever given birth in a hospital, like some of you who are trying to birth your dreams, and all that you have is a corporate background or a college background, but you don't have someone in your world who can give you that experience. Had I only given birth in a hospital, I would not have known that birth does not have to be difficult if you know how to relax your body. Because in the hospital, what do they tell you? Push, 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 and everything around you is tense and hectic, and the process becomes a lot harder because there is a protocol that does not fit the process that's in place in that environment. When you want to design and build your best life and birth your best life, you've got to put yourself in an environment where being able to relax into it, not rush into it, not run into it, not race into it, not hustle into it, grind into it, because then that makes the entire process harder. But in a space where you can relax into the process of creating the life and becoming the woman that you truly desire. So I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helped to clarify all the things for you. I know I had these same questions when I started working with my coach. So I wanted to make sure that all the questions that you have can be answered. So I told y'all it was date night. So I'm going to head out. I hope that this has been edifying and supportive for you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. My team will support you. Reach out to us via email, DM, and we got you. All right. Peace and love, y'all. I will talk to you soon.